Welcome. All right, so what do you need to know to solve rational equations? Well, in my video where I discuss how to solve rational equations, I kind of go through a lot of different steps. And the first thing I would say when solving rational equations is you need to know how to find the LCD. That's one of my favorite methods to solving rational equations with polynomials, because it just eliminates all of my fractions, right? And I'm done with them, and then I can just proceed to solve how I know how to solve. So we know how to find an LCD. We know how to apply the cross product. All right. We also need to know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. So it should be like the operations of rational expressions. So sometimes what we will have is we're going to have sometimes we'll have two rational expressions that we're going to want to add, subtract, multiply, divide. So we're going to want to apply that, and then we can apply the cross product. We're going to want to make sure we know our properties of exponents. So not always when we're doing our properties, not always when we're going to be doing factoring, are we just going to be dividing out expressions. A lot of times we're going to be simplifying our exponents and numbers. We're also going to want to make sure we know our division property. When we have two terms or expressions that is exactly the same, then we can divide them to equal 1. Very, very importantly, we need to know how to factor. And not only just factoring, but to solve by factoring, or to solve quadratics or anything else. We need to know how to, I'll just say, solve equations. Solve linear and quadratic. So a lot of times when we have a rational expression, we're going to apply all these operations, right? But we still need to solve. So all of this work is to get it so we have it as a linear equation or a quadratic equation. And once we get it to that point, then we can go ahead and solve. But we also have to make sure that we know how to solve a linear equation by applying our inverse operations, as well as how to solve quadratic equations by applying factoring, completing the square, and the quadratic formula. So we need to know how to simplify our rational equation by using a lot of this information. And then we also have to make sure we can solve at the end. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is just kind of a nice little snippet of what you need to know to solve rational equations. Thanks.